Imagine dying with a $500 million estate, but no one can find your will. That's exactly what happened with Zappos founder Tony Hsieh. Now, after his passing, his family is fighting in court over whether some recently found will is real or a complete forgery. Now, this entire situation might have been avoided with a proper estate plan. Let's talk about it. Now, when Tony Hsieh died in 2020, he was only 46 and he passed away in a house fire. And he left away an estimated $500 million estate and a pretty large Vegas real estate portfolio. He was unmarried and he didn't have any children. And that's where things start to get a little complicated. After Hsieh passed away, no will could be found. So his estate began to proceed through probate as if he died intestate, which just means without a will. His father was appointed as the administrator to kind of manage the estate, inventory everything. And under intestacy laws, where there is no will, assets will usually go to the closest relative. Each state has its own laws about how intestacy actually works. And the takeaway from that is, if you don't have a will, if you don't have an estate plan, the state where you reside, it has an estate plan for you. But for a lot of families, that may not reflect what your wishes are. And this is where we get to the plot twist of the Tony Hsieh story, is that nearly 4 years after Hsieh passed away, this document surfaced, was mailed in from overseas, purporting to be his will. Now, allegedly, that will was signed in 2015. It was discovered somewhere out of the country, I think it was Pakistan, among some kind of stranger's belongings. It named attorneys as Hsieh's executors who had never met Hsieh before. And it also directed tens of millions of dollars in real estate to various trusts and different charitable gifts. But this all raised the question that everyone was thinking was, is this real? Where did this come from? Who are these people? And that's been the big question in this probate dispute over Tony Hsieh's estate. Now, Hsieh's family's position is that this is a complete forgery and they want the court to just throw it out. The Hsieh's family lawyers are saying that the signatures are probably fake. The witnesses don't exist. They can't be found. The person who mailed the will in had no known connection to Hsieh. This case has been tied up in probate court for years, with judges and attorneys trying to determine if the will is even legitimate. What a mess. The lesson learned so far with this is that, when documents are unclear, when they're missing, when they're questionable, the families can end up in years of litigation. It takes a lot of time and a lot of money. And if having this possibly fraudulent will isn't enough, there were also some random notes and promises found. There were things written on sticky notes and just handwritten promises in Hsieh's home for different financial commitments. Another probate court has to figure out if these are legally binding promises or just ideas that he wrote down. The key lesson here is that making informal notes and promises don't replace a properly executed estate plan. Now, this is a big case. Again, Tony Hsieh's estate is worth about $500 million. For most all of us, we're not worth $500 million. But for all of us, I think the following lessons are good takeaways from this case. We need to have a clear and legally valid will or trust. We need to make sure that our estate plan is easy to locate and where our loved ones know where it is and have access to it, because having a will that nobody can find is almost just as bad as not having one at all. When choosing your executors, making sure you choose someone that you trust. And make sure you communicate your plan with your family, with your loved ones, with the people that you are naming in your estate plan. Make sure that they know what the plan is. If you want to avoid putting your family through something like this, make sure your estate plan is clear, that is updated, and that is properly executed. If you don't have an estate plan, it's probably time to get yours done. If you're a Washington State resident and you need your estate plan prepared, we make it easy. Our contact information is below. We offer consults via Zoom, by phone, or in person. And if you want to learn more about estate planning, make sure you subscribe.